guys, and welcome to Sit in It for a Bit. I'm your host Melissa. You can find me on Ravelry at Aurora Evermore. I am obviously doing this outside in my backyard, so you're going to see all animals running around. It's just an overcast day today, and it's just too dark in the house, and I wanted natural light because what I have to show you today is a lot of acquisitions. And so I wanted you to be able to see the true color of things. I'm hoping the lighting is just right. It seems to be a pretty quiet day in the neighborhood, so hopefully it's not too many noises. I did realize that I left the door open. How natural is that? I do realize I left the door open to the laundry room, so you're probably going to hear my washing machine going off. Okay. It's already starting off a great way. Today I am drinking coffee. It is Saturday morning, and I always start my day with coffee instead of tea. Need the extra caffeine. By the way, that was Flint. He's the only male in the house, so of course he pees on everything. Luckily, for the most part, pees outside. I think we only had one accident when he first came into the house. And that is Evelyn, and I think she's circling to have a potty, so I'm going to block her off. Yes. Hello, people. Okay, she's done. Part of me's like, should I retake this? Oh, and of course the sun's coming out, so it's going to be super bright, and I'm going to be super squinty. Oh. This is not going the way I wanted it to. So anyway. Okay. So I didn't just get back from my trip. I got back from my trip a few days ago. And from the time I last podcasted in that hotel to leaving, we stopped, or I was able to stop at another yarn store, and I told myself, you know what? It's not very often that you get to go to a yarn store. I live like an hour and a half away from the closest local yarn store, and like horrible traffic and stuff. So I'm just gonna take complete opportunity of this and buy all the yarns, and that could be just like my stock up for the upcoming year. And so I bought quite a bit. I also have some that I had purchased online, and Nina wants to say hi. That's who I'm petting down here. This is Nina. Oh, he's purring. Here's my Nina. Anyway, I had purchased some of the yarn online, and they had just arrived. Well, they had arrived since the last time I podcasted from home. So I'll give you guys a little show of those. Yeah. You're my sweet girl. I love you. Can you say hi to the camera? Yeah? You used to play games on that iPad, didn't you? Hi, Evelyn. Okay. She's hot. It is like, well, at least last night it was like 93 or 96% humidity. And it feels like it again today. So I'm already like sweating so bad, even though it's not that hot. Okay, I think I'm going to first start with some new project bags I bought. I got 3 new ones. They are all so cute. Of course, why would I buy them if they weren't cute? Got this one. They're all small, but I do a lot of smaller stuff, and I have a lot of project bags for bigger stuff anyway. And the llamas, it's just a little like canvasy dyed bag. Nothing, drawstring, nothing too crazy. Here is the tag for you. I'm sorry, I'm squinting. I should have brought like my sunglasses or something. I have blue eyes, and I'm wearing contacts, and so bright light is like super bright to me. And the sun's just coming out even more. Then I got this one. I thought this one would be perfect for when I'm walking around and knitting. Because it's almost like a purse, but it's like long. Now, The only problem is it's white and I know it's gonna get dirty, but it was the only pattern that she had that I liked. And I was like, well, I'll just try to be really careful with it. I'll probably be putting in the washing machine a lot. But I thought it was just so cute with the foxes and the rabbits and little deer and squirrels. Oh, I just love it. I thought the pattern was just so cute. I do not have a, oh, this from the same lady as this pin. So that is her brand for the bag. Okay. Yes. So happy about that. Won't be doing it as a hiking thing because that hiking's just so dirty. Oh, it's so white. It's gonna get so dirty. I just had to have it. Maybe I'll invest in some, like, some Scotchgard or something. The other one is teacups, which I know I'm not drinking out of a teacup because I'm drinking my coffee, and if you know me, you know that coffee goes in mugs and teas goes in teacups. That's how my brain works. Teacups. It's so cute. Just another drawstring, but it does have its little nice strap here. And I know you saw that other tag, but they put their actual name inside. The lady was like, "Oh, by the way, we have one with the pink offsetting color." I was like, "No, I want the blue." Oh, so excited to use that. Okay, so those are the bags I bought. And then, oh, I don't know, just start somewhere, I guess. There's a lot. The whole table is full. You actually, I know you can see it right here. So we'll start with this one. Sorry for the crinkly. This is from Amazon. I've been kind of eyeballing this one, and they have a blue version and then a couple like pinks and reds, which of course I don't want. But I've been into the super fall colors lately, so I got this one, and I have enough blues. And it's like a cotton blend. Doesn't really say. Sorry, I'm trying to see. Yeah, it doesn't say, but it feels like just like a cotton blend, but a soft cotton. Get a little bit closer to you guys. So it's kind of like a fade. Kind of like those big spools of knitting yarn I've been using. And so I'm probably going to make like a shawl out of this as well. It is getting really hot. Really hot. I am going to be sweaty. You're going to see sweat dripping from my forehead. This one I got at the store. Just a single skein. It was their new colorway for the fall, and I was like, well, I know I'm trying to do more garments, but this was such a, variegated coloring that I didn't want. I don't know about making a garment out of it. That's pretty drastic. Not saying there's anything bad with that, but I'm getting in, starting off doing garments. I'm not really into it, so I don't know what it's going to look like, so I'm trying to play it safe, I guess you could say. But it's got some beautiful greens and rust oranges and these like plum colors, and I figured I can, I'll make something out of that, whether, I don't think, a pair of socks, maybe a shawl or a wrap or something. Maybe some wrist warmers and a matching hat. And we'll see. So get them out of the way. We'll just go ahead and stick with fall. The other thing I got, this was an online order from Wicked Knitta. Oh, I forgot. I need to start talking about like what kind of yarn it is. I'm so sorry, guys. I'll go back to that one. So that's Wanderlook yarn. Wanderlook fibers is their sock weight, 75% merino, 25% nylon, and it's their September colorway. Okay, Wicked Knitta. She had a little sale going. I think for Labor Day, I think it was 15% off everything in her store. And so I shopped on her clearance, and I found these three on her clearance And then with the extra 15% off, it seemed like a pretty good deal. And I love her yarn. Actually, I follow her on Facebook. So here is her label and the color. This is more neutral compared to that last one. I mean, they're from different makers and everything. This is her Uke, O-O-A-K. The Y is different. Okwai? Maybe it's Okwai. 100% superwash merino fingering weight. I hope it's not blowing out too bad for you. And sorry for my squinty eyes. The sun really is coming out. Okay. One more fall color. I'm going to try to scoot without bumping into the table. I got 5 of these. These are Drops Air. And the colorway, well, it's color 22. It is 65% alpaca, 28% polyamide, and 7% wool. And it's nice, thick, you know, big, I guess worsted, but it's super soft. Actually, I saw it and I was like, oh, that looks kind of scratchy, and I touched it and I was like, oh, no. Now it's not like, I don't know, not like velvety soft, but it's like, but it is soft. It's like the stuffing from a dog toy soft. It's softer than that, but anyway, that's what it kind of feels like. So it's just like a mustardy color. I would been thinking about doing like a mustardy shirt type thing for the fall. Our falls are still pretty hot, and I know this is gonna be super warm, so I'm probably gonna do more like a t-shirt with this. But yes, I thought that was beautiful. It's probably gonna pill. I can already tell it's going to, but then it doesn't look like it's got mohair, I guess. It kind of already has that look to it anyway. It's got that fuzz. And so it is what it is. I wanted it. I wanted that color. So we'll see what comes of it. So that's it for the fall colors. My dog is about to vomit. She probably was eating grass. We'll just hang out here for a second. And I'm going to talk so you don't have to hear it. This is awful. Alright, so then I got this like plumish, very variegated plum yarn. And it's by Passion Yarns. And this is their colorway Espresso. Colorway 98 Espresso, even though it's not any kind of brown or anything like that. It's their beloved DK. It's 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon. That is the ball band for you. So I know I'd already bought a purple for a sweater, but I really like purple, and this was just a different purple. She didn't have dye lots on these, but I bought every single one they had anyway. And all of these, that one's a little lighter. They look pretty close. That one's a little bit darker, but this one's a lot darker. And I plan on doing the switching out the colors as you knit, like every other row or whatever it is. So that one's a little bit. Actually, I preferred this dark color, but it was the only one she had, so it'll be fine. Knowing me, I'll probably like try to save the darker colors for like the bottom. I think it hides it better. I guess, I don't know. Alright. Then I got 2 more. And then some little knickknacks down here. And I have no idea what my dog is doing. I think she's probably trying to eat her vomit. So I'm trying to hide it from you guys. So I was looking around, and here comes the sun. It was just starting to cool off a little. I was looking at this one like display, one brand display. And looking around, and I saw the sock base yarn that was really pretty. It was like a very light gray with tiny, every once in a while, speckle of different color, like blues and reds and stuff. And I was like, ooh, that's really pretty. But I don't really want sock weight. Canadian geese are flying over. The nature of things. One of these days I won't be distracted. Someday. Anyway, and I was like, oh, but I don't want sock weight because I want to knit garments. Not that you can't knit garments with sock weight, but it just takes longer. And so I was like, oh, I really like it. I wonder if they have it in a bigger yarn. They did. I believe this is a DK weight. Yep. So yes, it's light gray, and there is tiny little speckles in here. Like here's a blue. Like how the grocery girls do it. I haven't watched them in forever. But I thought it would make a beautiful. Here, this one's got a little bit more of the speckles. A beautiful sweater or sweatshirt or something. It's Emporia Knits. The colorway is Flight. You know, I'm into aviation because of my family. It is their DK Frenzy, 85% superwash merino, 15% nylon. It's soft. I made sure I bought everything that was soft, or everything that I bought was soft. All right, one more, but the best. So I was looking around, and if you know me, once again, you know I like sparkles. I was looking at this beautiful sparkly. And it is a fingering weight, so it is a sock weight. But I was like, fine, whatever. I need it for a sweater, and it's a kind of a gray white. So the other one, I didn't realize what I was doing. That one's like I don't know. That one's more gray. This one's more white. But I didn't want a full. So ugh. I was thinking like a Christmas white sweater, but I didn't want like all white, like white, because all I could think of is all the dirt and stuff is going to show up on it. And so it's got a little bit of a gray tinge to it. And I was like, that will help with that. And with the sparkles and everything, just lovely. So I got 4 of these. These are their Stunning String Studio. Their Twinkle, which I believe twinkle means that it has the sparkles in it. It's 75% superwash merino, 20% nylon, and then the 5% silver stellina. And this is their color weight Fog. Which, yeah, that I would, Fog is mostly white, but with some gray. I don't know if the sparkles are showing up. Thought they would out here, but I think you can see them. Alright, so that is it for my acquisitions of yarn and bags. Then I just got some little like knickknacks, notions, and stuff like that. I also, when I was ordering off of Wicked Knitta, I was thinking, you know what, I don't have a shawl pin, and I wear a lot of shawls. And so I found on her clearance, but then also the extra discount, I found this, and she hand makes these shawl pins. She's been doing this for the past few months, maybe just this year. So I just picked up a basic one. It's got like a print of like a black flower. It's got a little bit of blue in there and a little bit of gold, and I figured that would just go well with pretty much anything I'm wearing. If I was going to only order one, I wanted one that I could match with everything. I didn't want just a red one. First of all, I don't wear raw red, even though I'm wearing red right now. And so I thought that was a good idea. And then, oh, I just got a sticker. They were actually handing these out for free. This one, I don't think I bought any yarn from, but they're like, hey, I was looking at the sticker. I'm like, that's a really cute sticker. I'm like, hey, take it. It's our like logo, so take it. I was like, okay, cool. And so she's gonna go onto my laptop. And then I got 2 pins. I got that Sip Sip and Knit pin. Of course, I had to get that one. And then off of Amazon, I got this one that's Knit Fast Dye Warm, which I know I've seen lots of times. They're all over the place, but I had to get that one. I also got a magnet. It's only $2, so why not? It's a little wood carving of a llama. So he's gonna go on my refrigerator. And that came from Snyder Spinners in Fond du Lac. They had a little corner of the store I was at selling. It came with this wonderful little metal case, which for a $2 purchase, that's pretty good. Also on Etsy, which came in a cute little carrying case. I love bees, and I had seen some bee stitch markers. Not that I need more bees, but I had to get them. They are so cute. They're all different, and the little ring is actually a honeycomb, which makes it a good stitch marker, but not a good progress keeper. But there's one with just a flower. I'll show you some of the different ones. I like this one. This one's cute. But my favorite, because I have lots of bees, but now I have a honey pot. Isn't it cute? I thought it was so cute. And the other thing that came with it was one of these like row counter chains that you use. And I thought that was really cute with the honeycomb rings, and there's a little bee at the end. So I need to maybe with like this sweater use it. So looking forward to using that. All right, let me drink some more coffee. The last thing I have, and I've been thinking about getting it for a while. I've been watching a lot of YouTube videos and stuff, podcasting, and people keep talking about these. And it's the little like rubber tubing that you use to help try on your garments, where you push it onto your knitting needle and you string it through, and that way it's off your knitting needle, but it's on this huge long string, kind of like a scrap yarn or what do they call safety line, but it's a little bit easier because it goes onto your knitting needle, so you don't have to sit there and pick up each little stitch. Well, since I'm getting into garment knitting, I was like, I need to get a set. So I got a set, and here it is. So this is the one for like the torso. See how long it is? That way the garment could be stretched out while you're putting it on and not fall off. But yep, you just you like push this, because it's open, it's like a little straw, and you just push that onto the knitting needles, and then you pull it through the project. And then there's 2 other ones for sleeves. And actually I plan on, if I do like a top-down sweater, usually you have to put, you start increasing like a raglan increase, and then when you get to here, they tell you to put those stitches on scrap yarn. I'm just gonna go ahead and put them on these. That way they're already set and ready and easy to do. Why not? Makes sense, right? Now, funny story. I went over to the little shelf of these, and this was the only like turquoise blue one. Everything else was not good. Everything else was like neon pink. And this other lady walked up. I was like, oh, I've been looking for these. And this other lady, they're actually pretty busy at that store, was like, what are they? And so I explained it to her, and she kind of was looking at me. And the sales lady came up, and she started explaining it a little bit better, I guess, whatever. And she grabbed this tin from me, and I was like, oh God, if she decides to get it, and then for that sales lady hand her that tin, I was like, that's mine. First come, first serve. That's the only blue one. And I was like, no, I'm not sharing. She can take one of the other colors. And so I was sitting there just staring, like watching the tin in this lady's hands as she's explaining it. And she finally goes to put it back on the shelf, and I was like, and I grabbed it. And, and I think she's like, oh, and we have other colors too. And she goes and sets it down, and I'm like, well, I want this color. And she kind of, they're starting to laugh, and they're like, I'm like, I think I said something about, yeah, I didn't want you to give this one away. This is the color I want. And I was watching you the whole time, making sure you didn't hand it to this other lady. That poor lady. I think she ended up having another turquoise one, so if the lady wanted it, I think she had one like in storage in the back. But I was like, nope. So, but yep, that is it for my acquisitions. And it is getting really hot. I might actually turn the AC on today. I turned off the AC back when I got home from my trip, because it finally kind of cooled off here. Now if it wasn't for the freaking humidity, this would feel amazing out here, but it's just, ugh. Okay, I'm going to talk a little bit about my whips. And I don't have a lot to show you, because one of the big projects I've been working on, other than the temperature blanket, which I'm not bringing out here, one of these days I'll give you guys a quick looky-who at it, but it's just not today, sorry. Anyway, one of the other projects I've been working on is actually a Christmas present for somebody, so I can't show it. So it's going to look like I have not been knitting a lot, but I promise I have. I've been working on my temperature blanket. I've done a little bit of sock knitting, which is what I have here. And then mostly that Christmas present. I want to get that Christmas present done and out of the way before my fall, which is October 1st. Because that's when I'm going to be starting my fall poncho. So, but anyway, so the next few weeks or so until I start that fall poncho, it's going to look like I haven't been doing anything. So, but I did a little bit more work on the sock wall on my trip. I do not know what it looked like the last time you guys saw it. I think it was before the heel. So I haven't worked on it since I got back from the trip. But I think what I'm going to do is, I'm going to take this to class with me, and finish them up. I think I've got a couple socks I need to finish, and I think I'm going to just take them to my class and get those done. Speaking of sock, by popular demand, 2 people, I have been kind of asked to do like a sock making tutorial. So what I thought I would do is I would have multiple videos and show each step of making a sock, where I would do a video and literally walk you through how I do a sock, which there's a bunch of different ways to do a sock, so don't be like, this is the only way to do it and everybody else's way is not a sock or anything like that. Okay, just the way I make my socks. I know I have a quick video, it's like my 3rd video or something like that, but this one's going to be literally walking you through. So I'll do a video of making, the cast on and the toe, and then I'll tell you, okay, now knit in stockinette or whatever pattern you want until you're 2 inches away from your desired length. And then that'll be that for the first video. And then at the second video, be like, okay, you should be at your 2 inches from your desired length. Now what you do is you increase. Okay? Then the 3rd video, excuse me. Third video will be walking you through the heel, and then I'll like, okay, now make your leg however long you want it, and then walk you through how I do rib, and then the bind off or whichever. So if you want to learn how I do my socks, and so if you do, look forward to that in the future. I think what I'm going to do is when I start this second sock, I will do it. So I got to finish this one, which I'm close. I just need to do it. And then I will start doing those videos. I will label them a little different. They'll be sit in it for a bit, but they'll be like sock tutorial or sock lessons or something like that. That way, for the people that don't want to watch that, they can avoid those and just continue on with the episode ones. But anyway, so once again, if you want to, it's probably going to be in a couple weeks. If I only work on this in class, it's going to be a little bit because my next class I have a test in, so I won't be knitting. So it's probably going to be the following week, and whether I finish it, anyway. So sorry, it's just going to be a bit. I just got to get to that point where I'm starting a new sock. I don't want to cast on a whole new sock when I have so many to already finish. And my other 2-ish socks, I'm on the second sock. I just need to finish them, and so that's not going to help. But anyway, so that's what I'm going to do for you guys. So the next couple weeks, start thinking about what kind of yarn you want. I use 2.5 millimeter DPNs. So if you don't have them, you need to purchase them before. This is a good time to do that. There's also Magic Loop, which I don't do. I find it very finicky and annoying. So sorry. I'm not going to show you how to do things the way I don't do them. If you want to see those, you're gonna have to go somewhere else. This is literally gonna be the video of how I do it. And if you don't like it, go somewhere else. Not to be a butthead. That sounds really snobby, but I'm not. But I just don't. I get to see myself. Well, can you show me how to? I'm like, oh, I'm not. I do teach. I really do. I love teaching. Come to my house and I will show you how to knit. I will give you my address. Just pull up and I'll show you how to knit. But making videos about that is just hard because I can't communicate directly to you guys and help you out and physically show you how to do things. And so for me to teach you something that I don't normally do would be really hard at that. I mean, I'll be like, well, Magic Loop, I've done it, but I don't, for me to explain it, I mean, I guess I could do it myself, but why would I do that? I don't like it. So anyway, the only other project I can show you is the Packer shawl, which it gets a little loving every Saturday or every Sunday. And I'll get a little bit more loving tomorrow when I'm watching the Packer game. So it's a slow one because I only work on it during the Packer game. I know that's stupid, but of course I'm in the middle of a row. But oh gosh, it's really in the middle of a row. Here it is. Just got a little bit more work on it, but I will tell you that I actually started the decrease. Here is the little corner where I was increasing, and now I've started the decreasing. So I am technically over halfway done. And I always feel like when I make shawls like this, where I do the increasing and then the decreasing, I feel like once I hit the decreases, it goes by so fast. Which I know is BS because it really is the same amount of stitches from the increasing. But just the idea of the rows getting longer, just seems like it takes longer. Where now the rows are getting shorter, so it's like boom, super fast. I know it's stupid, but it just feels that way. So yes, it will get some more loving tomorrow. I think we have a noon game. So, yep. I will be working on that. I think last time I showed you guys, this is where I was at. So I've gotten this much done. So I need to make sure I remember to move that up tomorrow. Actually, just go ahead and do it now. I'm not going to remember. I'm just going to pick it up and start knitting because I'll be like, oh, football. There. Okay. And I'm almost done with that cream green. See, I only have a little bit left. And then it's going to start into the cream green with the brown, tan, grayish color. So, I think that is it for knitting. Actually, I'm going to work on those socks while I talk. So if that's all you wanted about knitting, only want to hear about knitting, and you don't want to hear about my life, then sign off, and I'll see you guys next time. It should probably be about 2 weeks from now. Probably won't be until I start the fall poncho. For those of you that are curious about my weird, stupid, boring life, I'm looking for a knitting needle. Welcome. And sorry, I had a bug crawling on me. Oh, well, I guess I'll start with the trip, if you don't mind. I'm gonna sit back a little. There, that's comfortable. I hope you can still hear me. I'm doing this on my iPad. It's a little, I think the sound quality has been better. My last couple of videos I did on my phone, and the sound just didn't sound very good. Got back from my trip. It was a good trip. Things went well. We didn't have any major problems with traveling, and but this week I've been. Oh, my cat is underneath me. Something was moving on my foot. I'm scared the shit out of me. I was like, is that a snake? I've had a big lizard. I've had 3 scorpions in my house this summer. Ugh, I'm like freaking out about venomous stuff. I'm usually not like a girly girl, but when it comes to stuff that bites and has venom, ugh, no. Anyway, I digress again. Came back from my trip. Everything went fine. Been super busy. As soon as I got back, I had to start studying for a test, and I still haven't unpacked. It's on the to-do list today, which I have homework to do, so it's going to be my break from homework, to tell you the truth. I'll probably just put some TV show or something like that on my phone and carry it around while I unpack, so that way I can get some leisure time while I do a chore. But so studying for my test, and then work wasn't too bad. I had some catching up to do, which is fine, but luckily before I left for my trip I was able to get a lot done, so it wasn't too bad when I came back. But I got a 76 on my test, and for me that's pretty average. I've definitely gotten higher grades, and I've definitely gotten lower grades. I don't test very well. I have a horrible memory, but I feel like I studied as much as I could, and I think I did a pretty good job, and so I'm happy with it. I mean, it's an advanced accounting class, and I got a 76. I'm okay with it. In fact, I got above the average, and so I always kind of tell myself, I'm like, as long as I can get above the average grade of the class, then I did pretty well. I mean, I did above average. So, and then I just got a little bit of homework for that to do, or for the next chapter for that class, and then I've got a test in my other class coming up on Monday. So tomorrow, outside of the football game, I will be studying for that. That one is not really a math-based class, so hopefully it won't be too bad. It'll be just a lot of reading and learning. I'll be knitting. So it shouldn't be too bad. So yep. On another note, the only other thing I've been kind of doing is I've been changing my vegetable garden, which is right there. not that this is a gardening podcast at all. So if you don't want to listen about gardening, probably sign out now because that's the last thing I have to talk about. But if you're just curious, actually I do have a Facebook page. It's called the Rooted Dreams Garden. So you can come follow me on there. But anyway, I, for the past 5 years, I've had an above ground vegetable garden made with cinder blocks. And there's a plane coming over. RV8, I think. Vegetable garden. Anyway, 5 years above ground vegetable garden. First couple years was great, but the last 2 years haven't been that well. Last year all I had was watermelons, and then this year all I had, here, I don't know if you guys want to actually watch me knit. All I had was weeds, or grass. And I kept pulling grass, but it kept growing back and like a carpet, and I couldn't take it any longer. So I'm literally deconstructing the entire thing, and I'm going to do something completely different. What I'm going to do is I'm taking all the dirt from there because it's above ground, so I had to fill in those, I call them bays of dirt. And I'm just using that dirt to fill in like potholes in my yard. I also have a tree out front that the roots have been kind of coming up through the ground, and I'm just putting dirt on top of it to kind of fill it in. And I paid good money for that soil, and it's nice rich soil because of all the stuff I've done to it, and so it's nice stuff. It's high quality, and I don't want to just go to waste. I'm not going to throw it away. And then with the cinder blocks, I'm going to do a what's called, like if you Google a cinder block wall garden, you'll see what I'm talking about. And I'm going to do like an L-shaped one, and you have blocks, and you make them like Legos, like a wall. And I'm probably going to make it a little bit thick so that way it doesn't fall over. But then every once in a while you have one of them sticking out like this, and then you put a plant inside that one sticking out. And you also put plants on the top ones, of course. And I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make it nice and pretty, and I've got some decorations that I put on the fence. I think I'm going to put them on the wall. I mean, just make it like a nice cozy area. I thought about buying a little bench or making one or something, and just kind of making it really pretty. Put some lights out there and just have a completely different type of garden. And so it'd be smaller, easier to take care of. Only grow a few things. I really want to grow some more lemon balm. I absolutely love lemon balm, and I know those do well in containers and they come back every year, so I'm thinking about doing the lemon balm like on the top. That way they just stay in there and they just keep growing every year. I've lost them a couple in the past few years, but I just can grow more. I haven't had any issues growing them from seed. Shh! Sorry. Hush. I don't like my dogs barking. I don't want to be rude to my neighbors, so I'm always yelling at my dogs. I promise they have the greatest life ever. Olive. No, ma'am. No? Be quiet? Yeah? They're gonna come over here because that baby talks, so they're all like, ooh, mom's giving attention. So anyway, so that's what I plan on doing. And a few weeks ago, I did a quick, where I took out I did like 2 loads. I have like this plastic wheelbarrow thing, which I bought for one purpose, and it was just to transport the compost, which I don't really do anymore, to the vegetable garden. And I use it for everything. Oh my gosh, how much I use it for everything now. And so anyway, so I did 2 loads of that like a couple weeks ago, I think before the trip. And then I was thinking, I really need to block off the entire area and kind of make like a working zone, like a construction zone, and that way the dogs can't get in there, mostly because I'm dealing with dirt and they're going to be tempted to dig in it, and they've already gone to the bathroom in there, and it's kind of gross. And it's just, So what I did a couple days ago is I made a wall all the way around it with some extra work room with the cinder blocks and then some fencing above it. So I used all the same products that I already have, just changed things up. It took me about 2 hours or so. I left a little gap, and then I put I have these like heavy barrels. They have a little bit of liquid in them in the bottom, and I can kind of like turn them and get them to kind of roll away, but the dogs can't, so it's perfect. So I just put them in the way of the doorway, the gate, and that way I can go in and out when I need to. But so I did that a couple days ago, and then last night I had to mow the front yard for the first time in like forever because we've actually had rain. I mean, look, my yard's actually green, and in fact I need to have a fire tonight because I have grass growing inside my fire pit. After I mowed, I did 2 more loads of the dirt, so I'm just filling in, like I said, filling in little holes and any spots that have sunken or whatever. I've got one, it's shallow but it's kind of big, it's probably about there. You can't really see, it's when you walk in you're like, oh, I swear it's getting bigger, and I'm like, please don't let it be a sinkhole and then it takes my house away. Does insurance cover that? Sinkholeage? So probably fill that in, and my idea is any holes I fill in back here from the dogs, I'm going to use some of that fencing. I have done it before. I put some of that fencing down, and then I use like tent stakes and stake it down, and that way they can't dig in it again. And so I'm going to be doing that, but I've got to wait until I got to take down, well, actually I have more fencing. It's right there, that metal fencing. I haven't gotten around to doing that. I'm kind of building up the bad parts first, and then I'll tackle the not so bad parts. That way I can do multiple layers and let the grass kind of grow with it. I think that's what needs to happen. I don't know, I've never really done this. Grass is growing great. After the first 2 loads a couple weeks ago, I think within 3 days I already had grass growing, and I'm like, and that was all the seeds that were in that dirt that was in the vegetable garden, which is why I was having so much trouble. There's just too many seeds, grass seeds in the vegetable garden, and that's why I my cat again. And that's why I'm just like, nope, starting fresh. I'm done. I think later in life, maybe, I don't know, if I start missing it, maybe I will make another vegetable garden. I think I'll do the same like garden design. I really like that way I did it, but I think what I'll do is like take an entire section, like a corner of a yard, and build an actual fence that I have a gate that I walk through, and then I'm in the vegetable area. Because the way I had it with the dogs, the fence was right up against the vegetable garden. I had trouble keeping the dogs out of it. I'm actually having trouble keeping the dogs out of the cinder blocks. I came home yesterday and they had pushed some of the cinder blocks out of the way. I'm like, it is 4 cinder blocks high, but it was at the end where the gate was, and so I had some that were protruding and some that weren't, and they just pushed their way through. Not that it's a huge deal, but I'm like, come on guys, the wall's there for a reason. The other reason for the wall, other than just to keep them out of my construction area, is when I do get it all cleared out, I'm gonna have huge sections that don't have any grass growing. And once again, I don't want the dogs to go, let's dig here, there's no grass, we could just dig here. And that way, it just gives it a chance to grow back. Which is kind of what I wanted to do is now. Actually, I'm just doing it when I want to. I know I really shouldn't have to worry about it until spring. But part of me is like, maybe I can get it done this fall. I feel like in Texas, we have a winter, 2 mini summers, and hell. And our 2 mini summers are spring and fall. And I I get flowers to grow in the spring, and then I get flowers to grow again in the fall. And I'm thinking maybe I could have it all ready by, I mean, fall is like, it'd be like now. But if not, it's okay. I'm not pressuring myself to get it done. There's really no hurry. It's a lot of physical labor, and I don't want to do too much at once and hurt myself because of my condition. And so we're just doing a little bit whenever. Alright, so that is it about the garden. Not that you guys wanted to hear about gardening. And I think I will sign off now. I am going to go and put all this at least back in the house. Probably not away, because I really need to get some studying done. And I will talk to you guys later. It'll probably be a few weeks before I podcast again, just because I don't have much to show you guys until at least I start the fall poncho or finish that Christmas gift. So yeah. Alright guys, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.